Before we proceed any further, can you give us some air, please?
Hey, today you want the air?
Yes, a bit hot here. I think right behind you.
I'll do just that.
You that is always looking for the remote to off it.
Sometimes.
Ellen, what did you do this morning before coming to work?
No, you see your forehead, Seth. You need it.
I'm not complaining. I am not complaining.
I won't
Crying more than a baby.
Sorry, AC, sorry.
Hey, Ghana phones.
Sorry.
Anyways, today there's a big meeting happening at the presidency. The civil society groupings are meeting the president on our galamsey fight.
Before you talk about civil society, Salasi, everybody is sending me my own. Salasi, good morning to you. Now, it's not, see, when you wake up in the morning, you can ask the people who sing. You can ask them and see. See, you don't just wake up in the morning, early morning like this and be say, that is why voice is not voicing.
So it will take, at what point does the voice voice?
All I need is Hajiawache.
If it is there, it is there. If it's not there, it's not there. Forget about it.
I just need so that I'll fine tune.
But I came in and my vocals were ready.
Absolutely.
Take me.
Okay, you were talking about Mahama meeting the civil society. Can we go back to that?
Yeah. But a number of them, I think yesterday, Franklin Kujo as well was speaking a lot deep into the night on Ghana Tonight, where he says the meetings are too many. It's a viewpoint that's shared by a number of individuals as well, but really I don't know what you make of it. Already before the meeting starts, it looks like persons are saying, look, we don't really know what this meeting could be about. We are too many even to start off with, and so it might just be the president coming to rattle to us what it is that he's done, and then that's all. So there's that concern to start off with, even before we go into the meeting proper. I don't know if there's a lot of legitimacy to it now that we're seeing a lot more persons share such views as well.
I spoke, yesterday we were supposed to engage civil society on Sunrise. I asked them going into the meeting what was their posturing, their position, and all of the expectations. But we ran out of time and we couldn't engage civil society. Hopefully we'll be able to do that this morning. But the back room conversation I had with a number of the people we were to speak with also, pointed to the same impression that we've had engagements. Whatever we are going to say in this meeting, we have already even said in the media space. So this meeting really is needless. But I also believe in giving the executive the benefit of the doubt. We had cause to ask President Mahama why in opposition his people, even if it wasn't the collective of the NDC at the time, key voices from his party were here talking about the state of emergency and the need for it, and they were insisting that President Akufo-Addo could do it in a matter of days. They didn't know why he was dilly-dallying or pussyfooting, Michael Oboju's favorite word. And now they have come into power.
Don't interject, I beg you. Continue. Please proceed. Please proceed.
Flow is...
No, so must you drag me into your shenanigans?
Please flow. Pussyfooting
please flow. Continue for us.
Okay. So, what was I saying?
You forget to.
So I believe that now that the president, Mr. John Dramani Mahama, is now president of the Republic, in opposition, his people said something. They came into power, and we are hearing something else from some of the voices. Either those voices are quiet, they are either quiet now, or they are saying something else. And the party as a collective says, at least from what I heard from the national chairman, General Mosquito, he said, well, this was not our position. Some of our members may have made some of those comments, but this was not party position at the time. I believe civil society should seize the opportunity. I don't think that civil society should say we have had too many meetings. Those meetings were with President Akufo-Addo. Now, this is a different dispensation. And reading through the communication from the Flagstaff House, there was something impressive about that communication that said that let us have a frank and open conversation on the matter. I'm believing, I'm trusting, and I'm hoping that civil society will go into that meeting with that posturing that says that we want to have a frank conversation. Not that you enter there and say, Mr. President, okay, we hear you, okay, you do as you please. Have that frank conversation. The things you tell us in the media when we call you, say them to the face of the president. Tell the president that the declaring or demarcating security zones is a waste of time. Go for the jugular. Strike. Declare, what do they call it? It's now a targeted state of emergency over specific galamsey areas or over all galamsey areas. Make that specific demand on the president. So I don't think that civil society should be saying we've had too much engagement, we've spoken enough. You haven't spoken with President Mahama. You haven't engaged President Mahama. He is calling for that engagement. Hold him to it. It's the same thing I said about the president's call at the engagement with the media when he said that, look, there's still a lot more we haven't tried. Yeah. Let's try that before we go for state of emergency. Give him the rope. 6 months. Try all the things that you want to try. And in 6 months' time, we are coming back to ask, has there been any improvement? So if I was in that meeting,
you think that posturing of too many meetings should not be?
It should not even come.
Should not be what we take into the meeting.
No,
today.
It shouldn't be. Go into that meeting asking the president, the previous administration, what was the work done? What change have we seen? Taking over from January 7 up to date, what changes have we seen in the water levels, cleanliness levels? We should expect a certain form of a presentation from, say, the Lands and Natural Resources Minister on the state of the forest and the EPA on the river bodies, water company on treatments. All of these presentations should be made to CSO. Based on that, CSO can then say, we are informed based on the data from your own
evidence-based presentations and meeting today.
A real dispassionate, frank and open conversation.
Helen, before I get into, I go to Michael on this one.
I think I'm 50-50. Sometimes I believe that we do talk a fair amount and we don't see so much action. But I also agree with Sixus that whatever our eco warriors and our eco CSOs have been telling us, they should tell it directly to the president. On average, when you ask government actors how well they think they are doing, I usually ask them to rate it out of 10. I've had 6 out of 10, so 60%. I've had 7 out of 10, 70%. Now, when I spoke with Darryl from Arocha, Ghana, he gave the president 3 out of 10, 30%. I would expect that on a day like this, you go and tell him face to face, you've scored 30%, contrary to what your spokespersons and reps are saying. I think your score is abysmal. And armed with that information, like 62 says, we can begin to put together a roadmap, because we can actually measure the success, luckily, with evidence. The turbidity levels will tell us a story. Even with our own eyes, we'll be able to see a difference. The mercury levels will reduce. So I think the CSO should go to the table and then put together this plan and say, in however many months or whatever the case may be, we want to start seeing these numbers go down. And I'm hoping that these other relevant actors will also be there. EPA, let's get the Forestry Commission also there, get Ghana Water Company also there, and they give us, as it stands today. Today is what, the 3rd? This is the number. These are the numbers. This is turbidity. This is mercury. This is that. This is that. In 6 months' time, we want to see that 30% increase to maybe 50% to 60% of you, getting some success in the fight. But I can understand the fatigue. I can understand the fatigue. Even though we say it's a new dispensation, we also say governance is a continuum. And so what we saw in the last few years, if it's anything to go by, it's like we've seen some of the tools come, we've seen some of the tools go. We don't know whether your tools
actually be records from some of those engagements to guide the present.
So if you are an eco CSO, I can understand your fatigue, because after a while it's like, what else do you want to see? You say you are drinking the same water. So are you comfortable drinking poison? Are you comfortable for your children to be drinking poison? Are you comfortable for the future of this country, in terms of what we're even eating? They say in parts of where galamsey is going, you have to hold your nose because it's even in the air. It's like, what else is there to say? what else is there to say? We've said a lot, but a lot more can be said. I think this one should be a strategic meeting with a clear, laid out roadmap.
Exactly.
Michael.
I think you guys know where I stand with all of this galamsey conversation.
Share it with us, so.
The point is that there's a lot of talk and do about nothing. We are playing the ostrich with this whole issue. Right now, I think the meeting should be between the municipal and district chief executives and the chiefs of the town.
They too should go to the meeting. Yes.
The chiefs especially.
Yeah.
Because you can't enter into a community and engage in such an activity on the blind side of the chiefs of the community. It's either they are complicit or choosing to be ignorant.
In fact, Michael, small slight tackle. When we had Elikem Kotoko in the studio a few days ago, he made an allegation that now we have galamseyers and stooling chiefs. So they go into the area. You know, they've got the weights because of the money, and they are actually installing their chief. So it's like they're all in cahoots already from the foundation. So, but I'm sure there are chiefs who were not installed by galamseyers who are obviously complicit. So I agree with you. They've got to be there as well.
We have to bring all of them to the table.
I think this is a first part with CSOs, and I don't want to speak for government, but I think that's the thinking. That's why it's not a mixed bag of everybody.
For me, I appreciate the fact that they are trying to engage the CSOs, but the truth is that they are not the key stakeholders in this matter, even though we appreciate their voice. The chiefs, the community leaders,
they are the ones pushing the campaign,
municipal,
championing the campaign.
Yeah, I respect that. But I'm saying that if we really want to address this, these are the people we should be meeting. We should have, if we have not met already, should be meeting.
So, Michael said the chiefs,
the municipal
community
leaders. Okay, so now I learned also that now lands belong to families. So the family heads.
Yes.
Bring all of them together in one room.
Lands are either owned by
that'll
the
be
family,
a lot of
by the
state
or to
exactly. That'll be a lot. So there'll be a lot of people to have in a room.
No,
at one
I see
time.
this meeting with the CSOs as a matter of policy shaping. You see,
which is one of the things they mentioned.
Exactly.
So when you finish shaping the policy, then the chief is also shaping the galamsey.
I think I've said this on this show before. As far as the MCEs and chiefs are, in fact, MCEs are concerned, I don't think there should be any meeting. There should be an instruction.
Yeah, it's a directive, straight up. Go and.
If you don't do A, B will happen to you.
Since I get that,
if this does not happen in your area, this will happen to you. As a head of the security at the local level, and the chiefs too. And I mean, so the MMCs would then be dealing with the chiefs. And I have said again, if the chiefs make clear pronouncements, there is no way galamsey will continue in their localities. So as far as MMCs
does that not even
concerned,
highlight the fact that they are complicit?
No, you see, we make that statement too, but I think we have to be very careful how we make that statement.
Who in this question is complicit?
The chiefs.
There's a premise of my statement. If you are a chief in your community, galamsey is happening, and you haven't spoken out against it, doesn't that suggest where you live already? If you as a chief, no, hold on. If as a
some
chief,
of the chiefs are also helpless actually, because we've had that conversation.
The least you can do is speak up. The least you can do as a chief, as a representative of your people, as a representative of your constituents, the least you can do is at least let us hear where you stand on it. But if you tell me that you are so helpless that you can't make a statement, I beg you.
Should they also be going to the police in that instance? So they have to make a report.
Does a chief think about it carefully? Have our chiefs become that weak? That's really, they can't rally the community to eradicate this? Have they become that weak suddenly?
Because there are guns involved, no?
Let me put myself in the position of a typical chief. I don't own the land. The land is in the hands of the families. A typical chief. Now, the family heads decide what they want to do with their land. And in a lot of the areas, in a large part of Ghana, it's farming.
Yeah.
You are farming. Now, the family head would then allocate, or allocate is not the word I'm looking for, will then allow members of the family access to portions of the land to farm. Now, the member of the family who is farming on a particular portion of the land says that there's a new business that has come. This farming, when I farm, it takes me 1 year to reap the benefits. This new business that has come, and this statement I'm making is based on my encounter with farmers.
Okay.
On the report we did for Sunrise, I think a year ago.
Yeah.
And I think the Eastern Region correspondent
yesterday
also filed a similar report.
Filed a report about some of the persons who helpless and all.
Exactly. So the farmer says that, okay, galamsey man, pay me this amount of money and come on the land and look for your gold. Media is the money I need to set up whatever or sort out whatever my problem is. Immediately the chief has no say in this matter. The chief, by the time the chief realizes work is already ongoing on the land. So how do you immediately attack this chief? I don't know if you get it. So the land tenure system, it's a bit complicated, and depending on which part of the country you are, it's easy for us to say the chief must be blamed because the chief is the chief. But there are parts of this country where the chief really has no say in the business of the land because
Sixtus,
you would have to no.
Let me ask you.
You would have to understand the land tenure system before you make that.
First off, but are you trying to say that a chief cannot interfere in the activities of a family when it goes against the interest of the town?
I have not said that.
No, but that is what is legally.
You've asked me a question. No. Let me answer.
I didn't say you said that. I said, can a chief not intervene?
Your question was, are you trying to say? My answer is, I have not said that.
Fair point. Then
I have not said that because
relax.
I have not said that because in my statement I was clear. I said by the time the chief realizes it, the family member, not even the head of family, the family member has traded or done a transaction on that land that he shouldn't have done. That is a transaction that is not even approved by the head of family, who has control or supervision over this parcel of land that we are talking about. So my point is, we cannot hastily condemn the chiefs or expect certain action from the chief.
What can we expect from the chief once he discovers that this parcel of land is being used to pollute his river bodies?
As chief, then you act as chief.
What
a chief must do. Call the family to order, the family head to order, and the family head in turn will deal with the problem. Do you get it? Or the chief can then deal directly with the subject. But you cannot immediately blame the chief for something that has happened, rightly so, on his blind side. But I'm just saying that we should have the discussion in a certain understanding.
I agree.
I beg to differ on the blind side bit. I beg to differ on the blind side.
I tend to understand what Michael is saying to a great extent, and Sixtus has explained in great detail what can happen in certain circumstances. But I believe that even in those instances, the traditional authority in the area still has a lot of power to be able to call that family in question to order and remedy it.
When it comes to the attention, by which time some action would have already happened on the parcel of land.
Fair point.
Exactly.
But the chief can still come in and say that in this land, yes, we don't allow this.
Exactly.
And that warning can be sent to, even if the chief doesn't own the land, for the families to know that in this land,
we don't disagree on that. I don't know why Michael is dramatizing this. You have to pay attention to the explanation I gave you. I'm saying that control of land in this country,
it's not always in the hands of the chiefs.
But that point has always been made.
Depending on which part of the country. We've used the example of the Otumfo. If Otumfo rises one morning and says, if you are a subject and you engage in galamsey, he's even been distooling chiefs.
Yeah.
For a reason of galamsey.
Yeah.
He's done that in the past. We've seen a number of chiefs who have been distooled because, according to Minsha Palace, they were engaged in galamsey, right? In other parts of this country, when you go, the land is not directly owned or controlled by the chief. That's all I'm saying. I'm just saying that let us have the discussion in a certain understanding. Yes, the chief is powerful. The chief has authority. The chief will act. But at what point is the chief acting? I'm not saying the chief cannot do anything about it. That's not what I have said. So please, let's have that discussion in that context. That there are times that the chief can act. But at what point is the chief acting? Would it be too late by the time the chief is acting? And at that point, what kind of action can the chief take? It's another discussion we must have. How much power does the chief have to do what? It's okay for us to say, yeah, he's the chief, he must act. But really, realistically, practically, what can the chief do? What action can the chief
when
take?
the family possibly will be bringing the booty to his palace and be saying, Nana, this is what the small parcel of land we gave. This is how much we are making, and this is what we are also bringing to you. These are the realistic conversations or action playouts in our respective communities. And so, yes, importantly, the subject of galamsey is one that we'll continue to look at. I think we just go through the headlines in terms of the papers now.
Before we do that,
I think I need to make the final point.
Tilapia
I know the reason why.
Before that, I think I need to make a final point. Honestly, I think that we may be.
Are we pampering our chiefs?
We may be making too much excuses for them. Because
for traditional authority.
They need to feel the heat.
I understand that. Let me finish.
Hot.
We are also informing.
Yes.
Hold on. Let me make my
let
point.
him finish.
My point is this. Long before all of this democracy and the likes, the chiefs held the people together. In as much as we understand that level of influence may have dwindled over the period, it hasn't reduced them to nothing. I think that we should expect more from our chiefs, and they probably have to step up a bit more, because beyond having what we call direct power, they wield a lot of influence, and we expect them to use that influence the more for the greater good of their people. I am worried that chiefs are not lobbying, for instance, to go on trips with the presidency to lobby for investments into their communities. Because, for instance, they have lands that they can bargain with. We should see more our chiefs more interested in the development of their communities.
That's a very unfair statement to make.
Let me finish.
You can't say the chiefs are not interested in the development.
I said more interested.
No, there's not even a statement you can make.
Fair point. No,
you are not more interested in the development of a chief's community more than the chief is.
Are you feeling it? Are you feeling it?
It is my opinion.
Are you feeling it?
Because I think the discussion must be informed.
Sixtus, please.
Frankly,
you can't make such a statement. You can't make such a statement. Let me finish. You keep interjecting me.
I want Michael to have.
When you're making your point, I don't interfere.
Have your say.
And then
what I'm basically saying.
But the man has been having his say for the past
because you keep interjecting. You keep interjecting.
Don't do that.
I'm timing him.
Don't do that.
Have your say.
Michael.
I blame it on the hat.
You want to?
Okay.
This is a chiefly hat.
You be very careful.
No, it's compromise. Guys, I think that the chiefs should please do better, because we expect them to do so, and because that is why they are there. We shouldn't even. This even presents an opportunity for them to establish their relevance, rather than supposedly seem to sit aloof as if there's nothing they can do. And that's the narrative I don't want to entertain, because Sixtus has made some suggestions that the chief would find out on his blind side. Understand that galamsey.
It's not a suggestion, it's a reality.
Okay, but understand that this galamsey activity involves the movement of a lot of equipment. I would be surprised if a chief in a community is in the community and equipments are moving up and down, and he can't, and he has no knowledge of where they are going or what they are doing in his town.
I want to just make a point in addition to what you are saying, that bit where Sixtus says on their blind side is also very questionable.
Exactly.
And there's a comment actually on our stream which is backing this, that the person, then this is Atoke Skyman Airbender Lamarck. He says that Sixtus, please today, dear boss, I don't agree with you.
Thank you.
Majority of our chiefs, if someone steals their 1 foot of land, they will get information next day to act. And so it cannot.
Information what?
Next day to act means the chiefs.
Okay.
If you take over their land. If you take over their land, they will know, and then
said if you take their 1 foot of land, the
they
next
will get
day
information next day.
Yes.
It's the same thing we have said. By the next day that the chief is getting the information, the parcel of land has already been taken. So how are we saying different things?
But let me allow Michael finish just quickly.
At what point is the chief getting into the action, and what action is the chief taking? Those are realistic, practical, legitimate questions.
Right, finish.
I finished.
I think this conversation presents a very golden opportunity for all of us to really find out from our chiefs what they are doing, chiefs, because according to Michael, the optics suggest that maybe there's some relaxation on your part. I'm not so informed what our chiefs are doing these days, maybe because I haven't sought that information. So that's also an expedition for us. So let's do this in tandem with each other, because now, fellow Ghanaians, chiefs, we are calling on you. We want to see the action. And if there's been some action and we haven't captured this, capture it, because everybody wants to know. Chiefs, what are you doing? Community leaders, we are now calling on you. Now is the time for visibility. If you are really working, as Sixtus may suggest that we are not seeing, maybe we are not following, let's now follow you to follow us, because the heat is turning up. We are turning up the pressure on our community leaders. We are turning up the fire, because people are asking, hey, is it really on your blind side? And if it is, what is your follow-up? Because we are not seeing the action, and your town people are dying. They are drinking poison. So we go on this expedition. I don't know how we fashion it, but from today, Chiefs, Monsorio, because we are turning up the pressure. The pressure is on.
The pressure is on. Let me
just quickly, so that we'll run through
because people are listening to us.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be misunderstood. I'm saying that the land tenure system in this country is not the same. The system that runs in the Greater Accra region, political region, is not the same as that runs in the northern region, political region. So what a chief in the Greater Accra region may be able to do, a chief in the northern region, for instance, may not be able to do. So when we are having conversations about the powers of a chief vis-a-vis galamsey, we should be able to understand these things as well, so that we don't have unrealistic or make unrealistic demands on the chiefs. What I was picking up against is that sort of impression that the chief is not interested in the fight, or the chief doesn't even know what is happening in his backyard, or the chief is so the word is useless, but it is not the word I want to use. You can find a synonym for it. You see, the chief, there's a certain architecture within which chieftaincy itself operates. And Michael himself ended on that point, that the political framework as we have it today, is it allowing chiefs the opportunity or the space to breathe and to work as they should work as chiefs? Those are things we must consider before we go all guns blazing on chiefs. They are not doing this, they are not doing that.
As much as I understand what you're saying, and I'll make the final. I think I also need to say something.
Final.
So that we can do the papers. As much as all of what you said, there's a level of understanding to it. I also believe still. There's a huge responsibility on our chiefs.
I don't disagree.
To be able to help us deal with this galamsey menace.
Yes.
And I'll take it from the fact that they will or almost must know what happens in their backyard.
Yes.
Whatever happens within the traditional area they operate.
Know. Yes, I don't disagree on that either.
And so, with that basis alone, they can help us in our fight against illegal mining.
Amen.
And that is what I think that's why I think this conversation ends. They must help us in this fight against galamsey. Lester, since
what about the tilapia moment?
Oh,
I want to see it. I want to see this
tilapia. This one is for.
Oh, la la.
And I've known there's a specific reason as to why she's wanted
What's
to see
your
the
reason?
If you're listening to us on radio, perhaps you should. No, not everybody can be able to immediately switch and see tilapia moment. But you find it on 3news.com as well as on.
This is actually from yesterday.
On our
Today's
social
phone
media.
Is also there.
On our social media
Go
pages.
on Insta, you'll see that, and also go on X.
Hide and seek with DSTV pricing.
That should give you a fair idea.
Why is the DSTV
she's so excited about it?
Why is the DSTV mascot so full? I mean, we dig on the Hey, DSTV, be talking.
No, but what DSTV has done to the minister too is unacceptable. You cannot go into a meeting with a minister. You have a joint statement. You come out and issue another statement that seeks to embarrass the minister. That's also unacceptable.
There's something that's been going on behind that. Yeah, every time the minister says A,
you come up with a different statement. No. It's not a show of good faith. Or respect for the office of the minister.
Absolutely.
I agree with you.
No, we shouldn't allow that.
Something is not
Something
right.
Something is not right. No. We shouldn't allow that. And you can't have engagement. You have a meeting with a minister. Then you come out, you have engagement, you come out, there's a statement from the ministry on the meeting that you have had. Then you also issue another statement directly contradicting what has been said. Then you come back later to say you believe in the joint statement that was issued. I mean, that's not right.
I think we should just call a spade a spade. The PR from the DSTV side of things has been very poor. Very, very poor from the get-go. There's a lack of empathy, a lack of consideration from the beginning in their statements that they've released. And it's been very, very poor. How do you tell us that one of your reasons for keeping your price up is the fact that you are not sure whether the CD will do better?
They denied that.
That was the first.
It was in the statement. It was in the statement.
But they also turned around and said, "Oh, we didn't say that."
It was in the statement. It was in the statement. How do you?
I mean, to be very honest, they've not been respectful. They've not been respectful to the Ghanaian people. All of this conversation. Let's just say
you may have your issues.
They've disrespected us in ways that should not have happened.
Yeah, and you may have your issues with the minister.
What portion of that do we apportion to the minister's negotiation tactics? Maybe behind closed doors, there's been a bullish approach that has ruffled feathers, and that has also marred how their PR has gone.
I even think behind closed doors, the bullish nature with which the minister was posturing and speaking would not have been the same when they went behind the scenes, actually.
Okay.
Because, and I'm inferring. I'm inferring.
I'm not sure the minister will call you and say cut this or else.
From that last press conference where he sought to say, "Oh, they are also here. Let's try and see if there is that."
I mean, we weren't there, but I mean, I'm just concerned from what I've had encounters with the Honorable Minister. On different agendas and platforms. We see him on television. We hear him on radio. There's a certain narrative that follows the Honorable Minister as far as his demeanor, communication style is concerned. So I don't know whether every other place we get that posturing, but behind closed doors, we will know. I wasn't there.
Absolutely.
I think that's also where the opposition political communication comes in.
Yeah.
Because there's that picture that is painted about the minister, that he is this, he is that, he this approach is not right, that is why we are where we are.
Yeah.
But there was a certain good intent to this whole campaign.
Oh, yes.
That the Ghanaian people were shortchanged. And as minister responsible for the sector, he had to act.
Absolutely, I back that.
So if that fight had succeeded, would the minister have been applauded?
Absolutely.
So because you have a certain problem with, say, the posturing of the minister, and it's not just about Sam George, let's be realistic, or a NDC ministers. It's about occupants of political office.
Yes.
You see, because you disagree with the posturing of the person, you condemn everything that the person has.
Including the subject matter.
Meanwhile, that you are supposed to be the beneficiary of the action that the person,
that's right,
the person is taking. You get it? So I think that, yes, you may have your issues with the minister, but largely it's been very unfair to the minister and disrespectful from the other party to the minister. Not even the person of the minister, but
those back-to-back statements.
I don't understand.
Seeking to say, oh no, we haven't said this.
And I've always held my breath. Every time he goes to a meeting, I'm holding my breath because I don't know what they are going to say, because we've seen that if he says A, they come and say B, and it's not in.
But guys, I think that this is another part of the issue that just keeps ringing in my head. Really, does DSTV have anything to lose in all that's happening? Remember that they are in the process of a buyout if it's not even completed.
That's right, yeah.
That's why I've also wondered why.
Maybe that's also informing how they
have nothing to lose.
And we have to be protected from businesses who think that because they have nothing to lose, well, we are collateral. Today you say it. I want to be
why
protected.
can we not have a Ghana box?
What do you want to watch? You watch something.
You watch 3FM platform, the Sunrise on that platform.
That would be nice. That would be very nice.
Can we develop this? Don't we have people in this country who can develop such a platform? And we aggregate these channels.
I'm sure.
It's a platform that channels sit on.
Yeah.
Content providers sit on. Yeah. Can we not have such a thing?
That's a bigger conversation
we should be having.
That's
a bigger conversation because it's a question of monopoly.
That's right.
Good point there.
That's
right.
So
I did a survey on my X page to find out what people really watch on DSTV, and from the numbers I gathered, largely it's just to watch football. The international matches.
See, I see somebody's looking for 6 2. I don't know whether your community radio is in question. I
know
why the person is looking for.
If
please attend to your
international football, I'll say this advisedly.
Yeah.
If this is the content that the people are interested in, why not create an avenue for instance, the nation's broadcaster to also begin to be able to air such content?
It's not cheap.
I will hold you right there.
No, it's expensive. We don't have money.
I understand that, but I say we need to.
Adisa Productions is handling the Ghana Premier League.
That's right
now.
And Adisa Production of Media General. Let them know. Let them know.
APL.
Yes, please.
And they're doing a great job at it, though.
So far, we have not had any negative reviews of the production.
I mean, that's been fantastic.
In fact, it has brought some life into the GPL.
And the only reason the GPL is not attractive is that there's not much attention paid to the production, the broadcasts. And all the other things that come with it.
That's how you sell.
Commentary and all of that.
League,
so that is a starting point. Let's say APL does a fantastic job with the production. And GPL begins to pick up. There's a lot more eyeball on it. We begin to get the kind of attention that the EPL is getting. Can we not have people begin to focus more on local channels?
So create an alternative.
That's a valid point. It's a long road, but it must start.
And to actually buttress what you were saying, I told you I looked at the numbers of our live views the first day the match began on our coverage, and across YouTube, X, and Facebook, we had over 17,000 people watching live.
I did the numbers. That was the combination.
Across.
All right.
So it means that there's a place for it.
Right.
If the packaging and the delivery is done right, all this conversation about box and paying subscriptions and things like that, and who has a monopoly?
It's a conversation for the long road, because in the immediacy, this is what people want to watch, and there's a difficulty in being able to have somebody else provide it. Trust me, there have been others who've tried, but it's very expensive. But guys,
can we run through just 20, 30 seconds per person so we can get the phone lines open? All right, I'll kick us off. The Daily Post this morning says President Mahama calls for courage, integrity and humility from new justices. UNIDO and GEA launch U-Spark to improve MSME operations, and government increases 2025-2026 cocoa crop season price by some 400 Ghana cedis. Quickly, the custodian newspaper, because 6 is tending to his community radio setup. Sack some George over DSTV impasse, minority to Mahama. People are saying that NDC is not giving enough scandals, so this is what we have. KGL Foundation promotes juvenile football, supports under 17 Colts championship. Akufo-Addo seeks $1 trillion debt relief for Africa. You've got our former president pictured sit here smiling. Tano North MCE denies complicity in galamsey operations. And finally, from me, nurses, midwives protest over 10-month salary arrears.
The archives. KGL Foundation champions juvenile football. New talents emerge as Ashanti region wins under 17 Colts championships. 5 persons dead and rescued. 8 rescued in collapsed illegal mining pit. Bishop Herman College Old Boys donates to Alma Mater. Government partners Newmont for Nkasiem Cooperative Mining.
That Nkasiem story is also on the news center. Nkasiem chiefs praise government Newmont over community mining breakthrough. Veep launches 10,000 young entrepreneurs Jumera program. Finance rigged against Africa. Akufo-Addo slams global system, trapping continent in unsustainable debt. Price per bag of cocoa increase again to 3,625 cities. 300 students, 200 teachers awarded MTN scholarships. Guys, thank you very much for helping us through.
I beg you, give me 1 minute. Let me say happy birthday to Na Basing Na the Third. In private life, he's called Professor Bruce Banoy Yakubu, former Dean of the Dean of Students of the University of Ghana, former Director, Lands and Natural Resources Ministry, former Chief Director. Today is he's a chief in the Ulo Paramountcy. He's a chief in the Ulo Paramountcy, and today is his day.
Okay,
right.
So all of you say happy birthday.
Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday.
Helen, you have to meet. You have to meet.
I would love to.
Sister told the chief to tune in because you wish him. That's why today you can't say anything against me.
All right, thank you very much, guys, for helping us through the review segment. We're going for this quick spot of commercials, and then we have you speak to us as well this morning.